thou our Father, Christ our brother, all who live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine.
Ah, beautiful. I love good music, and I love this community. Our mission states that service is so important to us. And so today's talk of stepping into sacred service, I'm really preaching to the choir. How many of you identify yourself as someone who gives service? Yes, that's what I mean. But isn't it wonderful to even take a moment and recognize how important this is on our spiritual journey? Also, this week is the week of Veterans Day. There are men and women in our lives, and maybe ourselves, who have done great service to our country, provided that humble, gracious service to our country. Let's take a moment and hold those we know in our heart with love, respect, and honoring for their service. Yes. It's truly a blessing. And it's a blessing to be able to take a moment and experience gratitude for service. And that's also a part of today's talk, stepping into sacred service. So I wanted to bring forth this wisdom from co-founder Charles Fillmore of Unity. He says, in the new economy, we shall serve for the joy of serving. And prosperity will flow to us and through us in rippling streams of plenty. So what is this new economy? This new economy is stepping into a new life where we recognize our oneness with God, recognize our oneness with each other. And when we serve with joy, the only way we can serve with joy is serving from our wholeness, from our knowing that we are so loved by God. We're so loved by that presence that when we do sacred service, we're actually the heart, the arms, the hands, the feet of God doing that work. And we are a community that knows this because we have many sacred service opportunities. By the very fact that we have the Unity Sacred Service Awards and honor others outside of our community doing great work. Coming up we were one of the founding churches that started Family Promise in New Braunfels. And we're coming up for our week of host, December 4th to the 11th. And I don't even know how to put in words how many times, because we did Family Promise in Hawaii as well. How many times I've fixed a meal or spent a night. And what I experience is what I give is so simple. But the effect on the people I'm doing it is profound. Because they have a safe home. They get to go to sleep in perfect safety after having a delicious meal. And then they get up and they start their day again, because Family Promise has a dedicated program of building these families' lives so that they can be in their own home, employed, and stable. I find that service so important for me because it's practical. I have an effect on what is. Yes, when I write a check to the Red Cross and I mail it off, I'm helping out, but I have no connection to what happens other than in prayer. But when I can practically be of service to you and our community, like I can in Family Promise, I'm made better for it. My experience with sacred service is no matter how much I give, I experience so much more than anything I'm giving. In satisfaction, in peace, in strength, in energy, I'm fully alive. And that's a flow to us and through us of rippling streams of plenty. Now, service is throughout Scripture, and this selection, 1 Peter chapter 4 through 10, says, like good stewards of the manifold of God's grace, or the grace of God, serve one another with whatever gift each of you has received. This wisdom is that each of us has innate gifts. We talked about this last month when we went through the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity. And when we identify our gifts, and each of us have our own gifts, they're not the same. It gives us the opportunity to give that gift away, to be of service to others. Part of this is in sacred service, we are embodying the possibility of a better life for other people. As people in our society, we've spent a lot of time on taking care of me, myself, and I. Learning how to do that self-care, to live in integrity and eat well and exercise and do well for us. But we've mastered that. You're all here. You look fabulous. I love you just the way you are. But now's the time to master being there for others. Now, this is very important in the world of recovery. In all the 12-step programs, they identify that their health and wholeness, their ability to stay on their track, is to be of service to others. And in Alcoholics Anonymous said, your job now is to be at the place where you can be of maximum helpfulness to others. So why is this important? Why is it important to set down again what I need to do myself and be of maximum helpfulness to others? I know everyone here has an answer to that because you know what sacred service is about. I know the service that you've provided. It's because it's ours to do. It's our job. It's the call. Not because we're supposed to do it, but because our wellness depends upon it. Our ability to experience wholeness and peace and that oneness with God is by being a sacred servant to others. Because we say there's only one power and one presence. We say that we are one. But when we live our days, are we always experience that oneness? I know I don't always experience it. But when I step into sacred service, I step into an opportunity to give God away. To give the blessing of whatever my gift is. Like today, we're starting our Reiki program again. And these people who've trained and embody the spirit of this wonderful technique called Reiki give healing and peace. And I can bet you that the people who are standing there giving you that treatment are receiving much more than you're receiving on the table. Because they're doing it from a place in their heart that is connected with all there is. So, if you choose it, your job now is to be at the place where you may be of maximum helpfulness to others. Carolyn Mace is a wonderful author, a great speaker. And here she says, there is no such thing as a simple act of compassion or an inconsequential act of service. Everything we do for another person has infinite consequences for that person and for us. We have no idea when we give any amount of compassion or love away what effect it has on others. A smile can change someone's life. But you don't know. There's no crystal ball. You don't get to know what effect it has. When I'm walking along, I smile and I wave at every single car that passes me. And everyone waves back. There's no inconsequential act. We don't know if they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and that experience changed the course of their life. Maybe they get to their job safely. Maybe they're a little nicer with their coworker. Maybe they smile to the person they are irritated with at work. Whatever we choose to give, like in Family Promise, spending a night, providing safety and wholeness, or providing a healthy meal, or setting up or taking down, or next week when we do our campus beautification and pull some weeds. There's so many ways we have to give whatever our gift is. In the smile, in nurturing, and in peace. I ask you to consider the possibility of stepping into sacred service. To amp up, identifying what it is for you to give and to give it lavishly. So I've got a personal exploration. This is in the bulletin. We'll also have it up on the website later this week. To take a moment and journal your ideas with this, or expand on any of these ideas to help you stepping into sacred service. So these questions are, where are you bringing the best of who you are to the world? Where are you doing what is best for the world? Where are you giving love and compassion? And where could you do a better job? That's particularly poignant for us who already identify that we're sacred service and already deliver a lot of time in caring for others. But there might be something more. Because if our job now is to be of maximal helpfulness with others, what more can we do? I'm honored by your presence, and I'm honored by your willingness to consider the possibility of being of sacred service. Thank you.